Welcome to a new video about Sisir. In this video, I want to present a new feature that I added called reference mesh. I have my default head here, and you may notice that I have a new section here called reference mesh. So if I open it, I can now load a reference mesh. So what is this? Let's say that you have sculpted a 3D geometry, a 3D volume for your hair. So I'm going to import one that I made quickly, like this. You can change the opacity down here. There is ref mesh opacity. You can make it more transparent, less transparent. So you may want to generate your curves, your guide, based on this reference, right? Of course, you can still, generate curves and place them manually like you used to do it previously. But this will take a lot of time, and you have to go here and do all of the adjustments and all these things. So instead, what you can do now, there's a new draw guide mode. So you can click here, and you just draw on your mesh like this, and this will become your new guides. Now, let me draw a couple more. Okay. Now you notice that the the point where I start drawing is supposed to be the root, but the root is not connected to anything, right? If I do this, you can see that they are floating. So when you turn off draw guides, the roots are automatically connected to your mesh. And then if you select them, the physics activates and they get smoothed out, and you can obviously still edit them normally. One thing that you may notice is that, for example, up here, you can see that when the physics smoothed out the curves, I kind of lost a little bit of the shape of the reference mesh, right? So one thing you can do, obviously, you could go in here and kind of start adjusting them and do that manually, but there's a better way of doing it. If you select the curves, there's a new slider here called attract to mesh, attract to ref mesh. If you just increase this, the physics now will gently pull your guides towards your reference mesh. And you can still adjust them, you can still move them around, and you can see that the physics will still, if I move this here, the physics will try to pull them on the surface on your mesh. Even if, for example, I select this this guide here, I pull it up, and when I let go, you can see it's still falling nicely on the reference mesh, like this. You can leave this on if you like. So this is, let's say I make a new layer for this side called draw guides, and I start drawing a bunch of, let me make this more visible. This, I'll start drawing a bunch of guides again, like this. And then I click on draw curve. Here they are. And now when I select them, you can see that because the attract to mesh is on, they are nicely adapting to my reference mesh. I can increase the opacity a bit more to show it. This is a nice way that you can quickly generate your curve based on a reference mesh. Now, another thing that you may want to do, let's say that, oh, actually, this curve, kind of want this curve to be continuing down here. So, of course, you could, if I go back to this layer, of course, you could go back here and adjust the length like this. And with the attract to ref, it does automatically align. But there's also another way that you can do this. When you are in draw guide modes, if you hover closer, you don't need to click any button. If you hover closer to a guide, you can see that the last point is highlighted. So at this point, you can just click and draw, and you will continue drawing from this point. So you can extend your guides like this. Don't worry about a little bit wonkiness of the first point. The curve gets resampled, as you can see, but you can keep extending the guides as much as you want. Now, keep in mind that by default, the guides are generated with a step of 15. What I mean by that is that if I select it, the step here is 15 by default. So obviously you can go and increase that. You can select these and increase that to whatever step you want. And again, with this attract to mesh turned on, you can see that the guides are following nicely the shape of the reference mesh. Then you can press F2 to go to hair mode. Let me just load a distribution mask and just changing a little bit the thickness and adjust a few parameters, maybe reducing the guide proximity, something like this, hair density. Now back to the guide mode, and you can just continue adding your guides. So quick control guides and start adding all the guides that you need, like back here, here, like this. And then they get connected. You can select this and adjust the parameters a little bit, maybe reducing the steps, increasing the attraction to the mesh, and a few other parameters, something like this. And you can see they're still nicely following the reference mesh, and I can keep going and tweak them further, moving here like this, a little bit better curve there. And you can keep adding and modifying all your curves and all your guides, and they will maintain the shape. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you want to try Sisir yourself, simply join the Discord. The link is in the description below. You can download it for free and use it as much as you want, as long as it's not for commercial use. Keep in mind that Sisir is very much a work in progress, so expect bugs, crashes, and other issues. But you can help me improve the tool by giving feedback, and also feel free to suggest more feature that you want to see implemented. So join the Discord and go download Sisir. I will see you there.